What's up, guys? Welcome back to SV Astro channel. And guys, today's topic of discussion is a different kind of a video altogether, and this is about a very important planet in horoscope, or you can say in Vedic astrology, that is Saturn. So Saturn being a very powerful planet in astrology because it's a slow moving planet and it has lot of powers uh, being given to him in astrology. Like Saturn has three aspects, that is third, seventh and 10th. Moreover, Saturn has again this concept of Sade Sati and Dhaiya, and that is what our today's topic is. So what is Saturn Sade Sati and what is Saturn Dhaiya? These two are different concepts, Sade Sati and Dhaiya. And moreover, people have a lot of misconceptions about Sade Sati and Dhaiya, that these periods are very bad and they can destroy a person's life and they can bring so much evil or maybe ill effects in person's life. So all these misconceptions are going around, which are somewhat true and somewhat absolutely wrong. Why? Because it totally depends on like whether how will your Sadasati uh, will actually be, or what kind of an effects your Sadasati will bring in your life is totally depending on your moon sign, where your moon is sitting. Because Sadasati is always like starts with like in relation to your moon sign. So whether your moon is sitting in a good sign or a bad sign, depending on the Saturn, not exactly where moon is sitting, or whether moon is sitting in an enemy sign or a friend sign. That's totally a different concept. But here we have to see how moon is sitting in which sign in relation to Saturn. So those things have to be kept in mind while analyzing a Sade Sati. So Sade Sati, why Sade Sati period is always termed as a very bad period or a very disturbing period? Why? Because Sade Sati always starts when Saturn comes transiting, when Saturn in transit comes in your moon's house, where moon is sitting, or one house before and one house after. So that is a period of total, because as you know, Saturn transit every house for 2.5 years. So like suppose if your moon is sitting in fourth house and Saturn transit to your third house, so Saturn will remain there for 2.5 years. Then in next in your moon house, in the house in which moon is sitting, again he'll stay there for 2.5 years, and the house next to your next to where your moon is sitting, he'll stay again there for 2.5 years. So these three houses, like 2.5 years, will equals to 7.5 years. So that is why it is called Sade Sati. That means 7.5 years. So this period, why this period is considered so inauspicious and so difficult and like so disturbing period in one's life? Because what is moon? Moon is our mental state. Moon is our mental stability, and like what we actually think, how we think, and moreover how we interact with the people. That's what moon is. So suppose, and you know that moon and Saturn are enemy to each other. Though moon is not actual enemy of Saturn, but Saturn considered moon as its enemy. So whenever Saturn comes near to moon while transiting, so Saturn, like as moon being your mind and mental state, Saturn can disturb your mental state. Saturn can disturb your emotional content. So whenever your mind get disturbed, whenever your emotional content get disturbed, so what happens? You tend to make bad decisions related to your career, related to your family life, related to anything in your life. So that is why Saraswati is considered as inauspicious. But again, having said that, it is not inauspicious for everybody in this world. So it is inauspicious or maybe like bad for some people, but Saraswati can give you very good results. But why this Saraswati has this thing again? Coming back to what is Saturn. Saturn is again the discipline. Saturn is again the structure and how well you are organized. So Saturn actually wants to make a person well disciplined and structured in life, and he should understand that there is some power who is actually controlling everybody in this world. So one should not think that he can do anything in his life, he can achieve everything in his life. So that is why Saturn is there to control if the person is going out of the way, and will give effects accordingly. So like during your Sadasati, if person is well organized, well structured, taking the right decisions every time, thinking that my Sadasati is running, then definitely that Sadasati will not bring that bad effects, or maybe is not that inauspicious. But again, if in your Sadasati your moon is sitting in a bad sign, according to Saturn, and your Sade Sati is going on, and you again tend to make those same mistakes, taking wrong decisions, taking decisions hastily, or whatever it is, so then the Sade Sati will definitely bring you down in life. So this is the concept of Sade Sati. Again, now there's a different concept of Dhaiya, which we say that like when Sade Sati starts, as I told you that Saturn transit each house for 2.5 years period. So like when Saturn is in the house before the house where your moon is sitting, then your Sade Sati starts. So that period is also called 2.5 year period. And when actually the Saturn comes into the house where your moon is sitting, that period is also 2.5 years period. That is also called Dhaiya, but that is your Sade Sati Dhaiya. But there is another concept of Dhaiya. And what is Dhaiya? Dhaiya is just 2.5 years. So again, what is Dhaiya? Dhaiya actually, whenever in anybody's life, Dhaiya starts when Saturn actually transiting the 4th house from the moon. Suppose moon is sitting in the 4th house. So if suppose Saturn is transiting your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th house, then your Dhaiya will start. Again, if Saturn is transiting the 8th house from your moon, where your moon is sitting, then again your Dhaiya will start. So similarly, people go through these Dhaiya and through Sade Sati, but for Sade Sati, as Saturn transit each house for a period of 2.5 years, so Saturn will again transit back the same house after 30 years. So after every 30 years, people will start their, the Sade Sati will start for anybody in their life after a period of 30 years. So let me explain you on the chart how this Sade Sati, where exactly, if your moon is sitting in some house or some sign, when your Sade Sati will begin and when your Dhaiya will begin. So as in this case, I have not put any of the planets here in this chart. I just put Saturn in this 4th house and moon in the 9th house. So right now Saturn is transiting this house, that is Scorpio. So now if you have moon sitting in the 9th sign, actually not the 9th house, which is Sagittarius. So if your moon is sitting in Sagittarius or maybe Scorpio or maybe in Libra, then you are going through a phase of Sade Sati. So if your moon is sitting here in Scorpio, where moon gets debilitated, and your Saturn is also right now in Scorpio, so this can be said as the worst period for a in person's life, because moon is debilitated already and Saturn is transiting to its enemy's house, that is the Mars house. Scorpio is Mars house. So now Saturn is transiting in its enemy's house and moon is also there, which is debilitated. So that means this Sade Sati will bring a very bad results in one's life related to one's emotions, one's mental state and mental stability, and a lot of things will be disturbed in his or her life. So again, if your moon is sitting here, this period of Sade Sati for this person also started. For this person, Sade Sati is actually ending now. Why? Because once Saturn will complete its transit for Scorpio and will move into Sagittarius, this person's Sade Sati will be completed. So this is the last phase of Sade Sati. So now for this person, this is the first phase of Sade Sati, this is the second and the most important one, and this one will be the third. So now Saturn will transit from here and to here for this person to complete its Sade Sati. So now you understand that Saturn transiting your the house before where your moon is sitting, and Saturn transiting the house after where your moon is sitting. So these three houses will be a period of Sade Sati for this person whose moon is sitting in Sagittarius. Now how bad this Sade Sati will be? Is it really very bad, going to be very bad, or it's like mixed, or it's like to be very good? So for this we can easily check if like person whose moon is already in the Scorpio, which I told you that if the moon is debilitated and Saturn is also transiting in its enemy house, definitely the Sade Sati will going to be really bad. But now for here also, Sade Sati will not be very good. Why? Because moon though sitting in its friend's house, but this house is Saturn's enemy's house, that is Jupiter's house. Sagittarius is Jupiter's house. So again, when Saturn will transit here, definitely it will has its impact on moon and it will disturb your life, but not that much. As in case of the for Scorpio. Why? Because moon is already debilitated. Your moon is debilitated already. Your emotions, you are already in your life, you must have experienced a lot of ups and downs in your emotions, and again now this time Saturn is coming, which will have its own impact on moon. So this period will be very disturbing. Again, if your moon is sitting in any of these houses like Capricorn or Aquarius. So in these houses, according to me, this Saturn will not going to impact your moon so much, because why? This is Saturn's own house. These are Saturn's own house. So if moon is sitting in Saturn's house, this will not going to impact that much as it's like in Mars house, or maybe in, if your moon is sitting here, which is Leo, the sun's house, and Saturn is a very strong enemy of sun. So Saturn will create more impact on the moon in Leo or in Scorpio rather than in Capricorn and Aquarius, though slight effects can be there, but not too much. Now coming back here, if suppose moon is sitting here, which is Libra, sign of Libra, and if Saturn comes to this house, what will happen? This person will not going to have that much effect, and maybe this period will be very good for this person. Why? Because Saturn exalts in Libra sign. So Saturn will not going to have that much effect on moon, and this person will definitely do some good or maybe even wonders in his life during his or her Sade Sati. So this way we can analyze what is Sade Sati and what effect it can have on a person's life. So Sade Sati is not that concept which will be bad for everyone in this world. Again, now what is Dhaiya? As you people know that Saturn, I just told you that Saturn is right now transiting Scorpio. So for Leo persons, like whose moon is sitting in Leo, their Dhaiya is already started. Why? Just for the 2.5 periods. Just for the 2.5 periods. Why? Because you can calculate from moon, Saturn is now in the 4th house. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now their Dhaiya is already started. Now one more sign is also, Dhaiya is already started for one more sign, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for Aries people, if your moon is sitting here, then your Dhaiya is already started. Why? Because Saturn is transiting 8th place from the moon. So this is called a period of Dhaiya, and that is Sade Sati. So whenever your Saturn is transiting from 4th house from the moon or 8th house from the moon, your Dhaiya will start. That is a 2.5 period, which can, again, depending on the same concept, can be bad or good for a person in person's life, as in the case for Sade Sati. And Sade Sati will always start when Saturn will transit one house before, from the house where your moon is sitting, and till the one house after where your moon is sitting. So from this house, the Sade Sati period will be there, and person will start feeling its effect from this house, then in this house, and then in this house. And after this house, Sade Sati will be over, and for other person, the Sade Sati will start. So this is the concept of Sade Sati and Dhaiya in astrology, and what effects it can bring in your life. We can very well judge from the horoscope where your moon is sitting and in which sign Saturn will be transiting. So guys, this is my small interpretation on Sade Sati and Dhaiya, concept of Saturn, which is called Shani. According to me, the Sade Sati and Dhaiya will always not bad for everybody in this world. So it totally depends on all these concepts. So we should not afraid of Sade Sati and Dhaiya, and rather we should think in this way that if your Sade Sati and Dhaiya starts, you should be more cautious. You should do some what should I say? Your karma should be good. Your deed should be good. Why? Because Saturn is always checking on one's karma and deed. If your karma and deeds are bad, then definitely the bad impact of Saturn will be more in your life. So you should be thinking wisely during that time. That is the biggest key during your Sade Sati period and your Dhaiya period. So guys, if you like my video, please hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel to get the latest information and more videos on astrology. And also you can put your comments over there and your questions. If you have any, I'll try to answer them as correctly as possible. Also, if you want to know whether you are going through Sade Sati or Dhaiya, or if you want to get your chart analyzed, you can email me your details to shikhar.vats@gmail.com, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So keep watching my videos, guys, and till then, bye bye.